guys, in the fast lane here. Today we're going to be working on a 96 Honda Accord door actuator. You'll know that you have a door actuator problem by hearing this sound. Now that buzzing noise you heard, not the beeping, is defaulty door actuator. It's just spinning around, and I believe it's rubbing on some of the gears. We'll see more when we get to it. I'm going to show you how to completely disassemble it and reassemble it. So the first step is going to be, we're going to open the door, and this door kind of doesn't stay open, so I'm just going to wedge something in between it, like maybe a sandal or something. Alright, now you're just going to want to pop the panel out. This first part up here just kind of pulls right out, just like that. The next part is you're going to take, this is already off, I'm replacing all of these door handles, but there's a Phillips head right here, and there's one Phillips head screw right here. So this one's already out, I just got to take this one out, and we can go pry in the panel on. So we want a Phillips head screwdriver, and right here there's just a Phillips right here. Pull up on it, and that's it. Now don't forget, you're going to take the Phillips out of here. So now we're just going to pull up on the bottom, just pull out, they're just rivets. You pull out, and then you're going to push up. Now you got to undisconnect right here, and I'm going to give you a better close-up so you can see it. On the door lock here, when you pull out a little bit, there's a little clip right here. First, we're going to unplug the clip by pushing in and down, and it just comes out, and you can kind of shove the lock in like that. It's pretty simple. Now down on the bottom here we got one more plug. It's just a light, and you're going to go from the bottom, push in and pull out. And then we're done with the panel. We can set the panel somewhere else. So here's the actuator. I'm going to show you. If you see the front of the door, and we're going to go right in here. I forgot to mention, yours is going to have probably some plastic over it. Just peel it back. Now here's the actuator. It's actually right there, right where that light is, the plastic, the yellowish plastic. See if I can turn the light down just one more. There we go. And that's what you're looking for, right back in there. Now right here, I'm focusing on the wrong part. Right here is where the rail is, right here for the window. You just want to take this 10mm out right here, loosen it up, kind of move it out of the way. And then on the front here, instead of moving this window in and out, right here, we're just going to take these screws out. Now make sure you hit them with a hammer and a screwdriver, or get the right angle screwdriver, because they're going to be pretty tough to get to. And then we should be able to sneak it out. So this one, it looks like they were already broken before. We got 3 of them. All right. And now we're going to go back in there and see if we can't pop it out. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these off. They're just little pins. And pretty much, if you're careful, you can see right here the whole entire thing's moving. Just go down with it. And these have to come off right here. Let me show you these real quick. Okay, on the door handle, obviously we're going to unplug it. I know I unplugged it before, and you want to hold it. If I can't get a pair of pliers or something on it. Okay, I'm pretty much going to turn it away from it. You see that? And then just go straight out. So that's done with that. Now we have to do one more, which is right here, and we're just going to unscrew it. Instead of trying to flip it and break it. Now once you've taken out that screw right here, you're just going to get your pliers in here. You're going to kind of wiggle it back and forth. Because there's just a little spread out in the back when the screw goes through. Just like that. And just leave that like that, and now we can get in here and pull this out. I'm going to show you a quick visual on what I'm working with here. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. And all I want to do is just keep pulling that down, just like that. So, I mean, maybe I can put the flashlight in here. Somewhat. And I'm sticking my hand in here. And see, I'm pulling it down, just kind of moving this out of the way a little bit. And just keep pulling it down and move these up until you get it out. So kind of hold your wires up a little bit, or your little rod. It's really not that hard. I think, actually, you see this little bracket right here? Take this off too, because this is the wire to it. This is simple. Just pull it out with some pliers. It's holding it in there. It's just a little rivet. There you go. Okay. And one more right here. There's another rivet. They're kind of everywhere. There we go. And that's it. Now I'm just going to weasel it up just like this, and that's it. Here's the mechanism. Now we're going to take it over there. I'm really going to show you what's going on with this thing. Alright, so the mechanism we want to get to is this part, the yellowish part. So we're going to take this screw out right here on this shield. And I'm going to change out my tips because this one's a little bit fat. So I'm going to go to a PZ1 tip. That should work. Yep. Alright, that's just the cover. Just pull that off like that. Now we're going to take these 3 screws out right here. And then I believe this pin should come out. Yep, this pin right here. We'll get a flathead or something and pry that out. It might even come right off. Yeah, actually it's going to slip right off, so we don't have to worry about prying that off. Alright, we have all those off. Now we're just going to turn it and kind of lift and pull out. This just catches on. We're just going to disregard this. Take these 3 screws out, set them aside. And now we want to get into this, so we're going to take these 4 screws out right here. Now keep in mind, this is the first time I'm seeing what's actually inside this, so kind of looking myself. Okay, here we go. I'm seeing a problem already. We got a broken piece of plastic right here, or rubber. It looks like it came out, so let's have a look. So let me look real quick. I'm going to plug this back in, and everything's still bolted in, and I'm going to hit it, and we're going to see what it's doing. Here's the lock, and then here's the unlock. Okay, so the conclusion I've come to is right here. Right there, and right there is where these rubber boots go that were broken out. And what's happening is when it locks, it's still kind of grabbing enough right there. But when it unlocks, it swings it a little bit too far, and it gives it enough to kind of just slip off the tip. So what's happening is if it didn't go all the way back like that and kind of stopped right about there where that little bit of gap is, where the rubber would stop it, it would still be on track over here. It's kind of over spinning. It's not making the motor stop. So that we're gonna fix that. So I'm gonna take out this one right here, and we got this one, and then we got two little ones down at the bottom. I wish it separated, but it doesn't. So the whole mechanism's got to come out. And down here, a little tough. Yeah, actually, I think we can just pull the whole motor and everything out. Yep. Don't worry about those two little screws. You're going to have to cut the zip tie right here with a pair of dikes. Snip it right off. And let's see. Yeah, it's this pin right here that I was supposed to take out. So get a pair of dikes, put it on there, and just pull the pin out. Just like that. And it should come out now. There we go. Just like that. I'm just going to leave that alone. So here's my fix. Instead of using these chewed up rubber ones, I'm going to use some vacuum hose. And I'm just going to heat the tip up a little bit, put some super glue in there, and I'm just going to shove them right up in there and then cut them off. So here we go. So I'm just going to heat it up just a little bit. Just get it soft. Then I'm going to dab some super glue on the metal right here. Oh, that's a little bit too much. And then I'm going to kind of shove the rubber hose all the way up it like that. And then I'm just going to clip off the excess. And now I have a rubber stopper, just like that. So when I turn it back, it's going to hit the rubber just like that, and it'll keep it on track. Also, this looks a little bit bent right here, so I'm just going to grab it with my pliers and just give it a little bend inward a little bit. Kind of pull that rubber back up, just like that. And now it looks a lot straighter. Make sure you clamp it back down a little bit. There we go. And just make sure the other one's the same way. The other one looks pretty straight to me. So let's go test it out. Now I'm just going to put this back together so it just goes like this. We're going to slide this part right down in there like that. All the way. Make sure to get the lever in there. It's going to come through here. And then we got to put the plastic piece back on. So we're going to flip it over, and it only goes on one way. Make sure this part is facing out, just like that. Actually, take it back. Let me see here. Yep, that's the right way, just like that. So here's the front. Make sure it goes kind of under it a little bit. Then you're going to take your pin and you're going to hammer it back in there. Get it started. It's going to be a little tight. Just like that. And now we got to put our screws back in. We got one here and one here, so just two screws. Okay, now let's just test it out. Alright, so we're going to plug it in right here. grab my remote. And now we're going to hold this so you can see it. And there we go. Now we have a dead silent lock. It just was going too far and overspinning. And that's how you fix an actuator. Alright, let's put it all back together. So we just tested it and it works 100% with no problems. Just make sure this little grommet's still on there because it could be pressing. I had to squeeze down on it a little bit right here. We're going to take the track, we're going to set it on there, and this will help keep it aligned also when we screw it in. So we're going to take our 4 screws, and we're just going to screw it back in. Alright, we got those all tight. Now we're going to come over here and grab our locking mechanism, and we're just going to put it on like this. Now you got to get this part in here first, so it's kind of going to go like this and like that. Very simple. So now we're going to take our 3 screws that we pulled out before. I'm just going to put them down in there. And we got just the shield. It goes right like this. Actually, let me get it in there. Hold on, I'm pretty sure it was like this. I like that. So to put this back in, quick look at it. Alright, this is the lock mechanism right here, so that would mean we're going to have to put it in just like this, wires down. So we're going to come in like this in the top, we're going to put it in like that, we're going to stick our hand underneath here, and we want to slide it underneath this rail right here. So we're just going to go under it, pull back on it a little bit. We're just going to wiggle it up there. And you want to get it to where you see it right here. This little lever right here. And that's it. Now I'm going to put the screws back in through here. And then we got one more screw over here. And I'm going to tighten this one back up because I took it off thinking I might need to take out the trim, but I kind of snuck it out. So let's just take our 3 screws and put them back in. So I'm going to take these 3 screws and try to get it started. We're going to go gently just to catch it to threading. Pull it in. Same with this one. And this one. I'll go ahead and tighten them up pretty good. There we go. Now for the final steps, we're going to put our rivet back in. There's a rivet here. And that's just going to go right here. And then we got one right here. Let's shove that through. And we're going to plug it in. But before we do, we're going to do the top one with the L bend. It's going on top. Just like that. I'm going to hold off on that because I still got to put the handle on, which is right here. So the handle is very simple. We're going to take it. You're just going to slide this little piece back and loop it in there. Just straight down. And then we're going to close the piece right here shut. So now it's on there. And we're just going to plug it in. Just like that, and let that sit. And make sure you put the lock piece back in. just like that. And then we can put it in. There we go. Now we get the screw in, we're just going to get ready to put the panel on. We don't want to forget to put our bottom light in. So here's the panel. We're going to plug the light in first. Just goes right on the bottom. Very simple. Make sure all your rivets are in. Don't forget, I'm going to actually put a 10mm bolt in there. It's missing one, so I'm going to get that real quick. So I have my 8mm put back in, and I got a 10 that originally wasn't in there. Now we're just going to line it up, make sure all your rivets are in. We're going to feed the handle through first, kind of at an angle, like that. And now you're going to want to put the actual lock button through here. Just come down on it first. We're going to lift. You want to get the top in first. And then you're going to come down once you get it in the window like that. Let's get it in there. Go. And now you're just going to want to get it lined up. Try to aim the rivets in the right spot. And this one's already broken, so I'm not worried about that right now. We're going to put our little door handle back in. Same way we got it. Just line it up. Take our screwdriver, screw that in, and we're pretty much done. We're just going to put this piece back in. And right before I do that, I'm going to actually put this piece in. Make sure your rivets, it looks a little loose right here. So I'm going to actually tighten these screws up. There we go. That's on there. Last but not least, I'm going to change out the bit. And we'll give it one unlock when I'm done, just to make sure that it's still working right. Now let's go ahead and, now that it's all back together, we're going to go ahead and unlock it and lock it, and everything's working good. Don't forget to actually plug in the actuator. I forgot to the first time, so I had to pull it off again and just plug it in. But other than that, everything worked real smoothly. Just for one last final test, I'm going to lock it, and then I'm going to unlock it. And everything's working great. Well guys, hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to change an actuator on a 96 Honda Accord. This applies to other vehicles. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.